Hello, hello, hello. All right, so we are coming down, guys. Coming down to the finishing line. I hope that's all, well, yeah, by now, yes, all your SBS and stuff, sorry, you would have been working towards finishing up. And I hope that you can consistently stick with these videos for less than an hour on a Sunday. Don't forget to share the link, please, with someone else so that we can all benefit together. All right, so we're at part 2 for the 2015 paper. And here we go, we're ready. All right, so of course, we started the algebraic aspect last week, and we are going to pick up from this. So remember now, guys, so if you didn't watch the first part, go ahead and catch the first 30 questions. This video is on a playlist, so I guess you can see the playlist somewhere on your right, and you can just go through the videos that have been done before if you are new here. All right, so I will start good look a while back. All right, here we go. Don't forget to pause the video and do your question them and then continue. Watch me if you say if you're right. All right, so here we go. When 8 is subtracted from a certain number and the result is multiplied by 3, the answer is 21. I know how we can figure out this from where. But anyway, let's go. When 8 is subtracted from one certain number, so that's the number minus 8, the result is multiplied by 3, and the answer is 21. All right, don't know how many of you would have realized that you would end up can write down one simple equation from that. All right, and yourself, okay, you want to find out the XB. Right now, you can solve two different ways. You can go ahead and expand the bracket, or you can go ahead and divide by 3. Now, I'm assuming that most persons would have expanded, so let me do that. All right, so 3 times x, that's 3x. 3 times negative 8, negative 24 equals 21. All right, add 24 to both sides. Now 3x is equal to 45. Divide both sides by 3. X is going to be equal to 15. And you can double check your answer. When 8 is subtracted from 15, certain number, that's a 7. And the result is multiplied by 3. 7 times 3 get 21. You're done. All right, number 32, the volume of a cube with edge 10 centimeters is, oops, cube the ugly, sorry. All right, well, I'm going to try again. I won't know so the basis for one cube or one square. But anyways, I'm going to try this. But yeah, the volume of a cube that has an edge of 10 centimeters. So we know, say, the length and the width are going to be 10 centimeters, 10 centimeters. And the height as well. All right. So the height, length, and width, all three are going to be 10 centimeters. Multiply the three of them. That gives your volume. 10 times 10 times 10. 1,000 centimeters cubed. All right. Number 33, a car travels 80 kilometers in 2.5 hours. What is its speed in kilometers per hour? Now, all if you never know a formula, watch this. Kilometers per hour. You're calculating the speed, and when you're done with the speed, this is how it will look. Clearly, speed is equal to distance over time. So if you never remember, you could make it up on spot. Distance divided by time. All right, so a car travels 80 kilometers in 2.5 hours. All right, what is its speed? So that's 80 divided by 2.5, which is the same as 80 divided by 5/2. All right, our hand we use to record this now, so we have to, take the time. All right, when you're dividing by a fraction, remember, you can multiply and reciprocate. So that's 80 times 2/5. All right, 5 into 80, 16. 16 times 2, that's going to be 32 kilometers per hour. All right, given that 1 millimeter equals 1/1,000, given that 1 millimeter equals 1/1000 meters or 1000 meters. Anyway, express 2500 millimeters in meters. So we know what 1 millimeter be. That means 2500 millimeters. If me want to express this in a meters, me just need to multiply it by 1/1000. That's it. All right. So remember, let me tell you, it's like the same ratio thing. So millimeters here. If I multiply this side by 2500, all I need to do is multiply this side by 2500 to get the amount in meters. All right. That look like 25,000. But anyway, you know what I mean? All right. So that is going to be 25 divided by 10. You simplify that, right? Even though the answer is expressed in decimals here. But of course, easy something that you're dividing by 10, dividing 25 by 10. So the answer is going to be 2.5. And remember, we talked about how to divide by powers of 10. All right. So the decimal point was behind the 5, 25/10. You're dividing by 10. Right? So each digit will move one place to your right. In other words, the decimal point seemingly move one place to your left. All right, because they're dividing. So the answer 2.5. All right. Number 35. We have the sector of a circle. The angle AOB is 60 degrees, and OB, the radius, is R units long, hence the use of the letter R, right? What is the area of this sector? Now, area of a sector, all, if you're not a member, area of sector, you can make it up on spot. If you know the area of a circle, area of a sector is a fraction of the area of a circle. The area of a circle is pi r squared. All right. What fraction can we use to represent this area of the entire out of the entire circle? 60 degrees here for the area, for the sector, but for the entire circle, the total number of degrees would have been 360. So this is the fraction that we want out of the entire area. All right. So yeah, you simplify 60 over 360, you all get 1/6. See there right in front of you? All right, so you get 1/6 pi r squared. Number 36, the distance around the edge of a circular pond, as a ear that you say, perimeter of a circle, circumference. Circumference is 88 meters. What is the radius? Now, do you know any formula will involve circumference and radius? Yes, circumference equals 2 pi r. And clearly, you don't need to know what pi is or replace pi because you realize pi is still in the answer. All right, so here we go. Circumference is 88 meters, so we'll put 88 right there for circumference, 2 pi r. It's the only thing we know, right? And we want r, so I'm going to divide this side by 2 pi. Anything you do to one side, do it to the other with equation. The side then follow. All right, so r is going to be equal to 88 over 2 pi. And that's that. Number 37, a man leaves home at 22:15 hours and reaches his destination at 400 hours on the following day in the same time zone. Good. 22:15 hours. What time of day / night is that, right? When we say that is gonna be 10 o'clock in the night. And if you don't know what the 24-hour clock does not say, 1 o'clock in the morning, in the wee hours of the morning, you count from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 come at midday, then 13 o'clock is 1 o'clock in the afternoon, etc. And you continue, right? The 22:15 hours would have been 10:15 in the night, 10:15 p.m. And he reaches his destination at 4 o'clock in the morning, right? 4 a.m. And you simply just match up that right? If you even do it on your finger, then you say from 10:15 to 11 o'clock, that's a 45 minutes. And then you say from 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the morning, that's a 5 more hours. 45 minutes, 5 hours. Anyways, so you realize that 5 hours and something. Take out them 2 years, right? 45 minutes is the same as 3/4 hours. So definitely this is our answer. All right. The area of a triangle is 30 centimeters squared and its base is 10 centimeters. What is the height? We are dealing with area, we are dealing with base, we are dealing with height. On a triangle, we are dealing with, and we are dealing with area. All right, so area of a triangle is half times the base times height. Area of a triangle is 30 centimeters squared. Its base is 10. What is the height? Simple, simple something, right? 2 into 10, that's a 5. So this side we have 5h equals 30. 5 times what give you 30? Simple 1, 2. All right, but anyway, dividing both sides by 5, h equals 6. That's the height. 39, the perimeter of a square is 48 centimeters. Immediately, you must make your mind go to the fact, say, from a square, all 4 sides, the length of all 4 sides are equal. Mine not drawn to scale. Moving on. All right, so that means, say, the perimeter of the square of 48, you start maths up 1 and 2 things now, and I say, that means that each side is 12, right? 12 centimeters. What is the area? Now we know the area of one square is side times side or length times length. That's 12 centimeters times itself, which is 144 centimeters squared. This diagram, not drawn to scale, show one cylinder. We can see it. All right, circular bottom, circular top, and we see one height. The radius is 3 centimeters and the height is 8 centimeters. What is the volume? All right, volume is going to be whatever you know the area of the base is times the height. I want to say the base and the top are the same thing, right? So area, this is a circle now at the base, so that's going to be pi r squared times the height, which is 8. All right, pi, we don't need to write what pi is because we realize that pi is still not the answer. R squared, what is r? Radius, that's 3 squared, so that's 9 pi already in our answer. All right, times the height, which is 8. 9 pi times 8, 72 pi centimeters cubed. Done. All right, we have a question here. Number 41 refers to this diagram. All right, it shows the number of children aged 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 who took part in a survey. So then age down here, so. All right, what was the modal age? That means what was the age that occurs the most modal? All right, which age occurred the most? Age 7. All right, we have 5 children who are that age. So it's tempting here to write 5 because 5 are the highest number of children, but no, it asks for the modal age. All right, number 42, how many children took part in the survey? 5 Bitnia, 4, 3, 2, 1. Or for normal people, let's go from left to right. 3 children plus 4 plus 2 plus 5 plus 1. And that's going to be 15. All right. Jade's scores, so we're still on the statistics. Jade's scores on her 9 spelling tests are 577454766. Therefore, her median score is, and median, middle number. All right. But anyway, if we can find the middle number, we need to put the number them in order. So here we go, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7. Which number is in the middle? Not this, good. Cross them off 1, 1 from the end if you're not sure. All right, that's gonna be 6. If the mean of 4 numbers, and we're talking about regular average here, is 10, so we have the 4 numbers, 4, 8, x, and 12. the average for those four numbers is 10, then what is x going to be? How we find mean? Mean, you add up the number, divide by amount of the numbers. Big up to my grade 5 teacher who reminded me of, who taught me that song. All right, so here we go. Divide by the number of numbers, and we should get the answer to be 10. All right, so when you add up the numbers, 4 plus 8 plus 12 plus x. That's x plus, what is 24, I think? Yup. Divide by 4. And we have solved the equation. Simple, because 1, find out what x is. So times 4, so we can get rid of the 4, yeah? X plus 24 equals 40. Which number plus 24 give 40? 16. You don't need to show no reckons. Yeah, the one. I mean, if you pick up say 16, you're gonna circle it. It's a multiple choice paper. All right. So yeah, but remember now, if you know so the average for four numbers is 10, obviously you know that when all of the numbers add up, you get 40. So you could have just do that out your head and say, okay, 4, 8, and 12 are 24. That means the next number must be 16, because I need to add up to 40. Anyways, moving on. The boundaries of the class interval 10 to 14 are best recorded as, no, there are what are called boundaries, and there are what are called limits. 10 and 14, those are the class limits. The class boundary is 0.5 below this, so that's 9.5. And the upper class boundary, so that was the lower one. The upper class boundary is 0.5 above 14, so that's 14.5. All right. All right. So also, I don't want to go too deep in explaining, but the next class interval after this one would have been from 15 to 19. All right, from 15 to 19. The lower class limit for this one we would say is 14.5. Upper one for this one is 19.5. So watch this now. To best represent the boundaries for this class interval 10 to 14, we would have to say that it starts from 9.5, so x is greater than or equal to, and then it's less than 14.5. It's just below 14.5, because now the next class interval is going to start exactly at 14.5 and go up. All right, so I hope that explains it in a nutshell. All right, so there we go. All right, number 46. This line AB cuts the x-axis where? This is the x-axis. The line cuts it here at the coordinates 3, 0. All right. What kind of mapping is this? All right. As we can see, there are two arrows going to, well, there are two elements from here being mapped onto one element in the range. All right. And the same thing is happening. All right. So this is clearly not a one-to-one, clearly not a one-to-many, clearly not a many-to-many, but many elements going to one. All right. Here we have a function. F of x is equal to 2x squared minus 1. And we are supposed to find out what f of negative 3 is. So anywhere x squared is, we're going to put negative 3. We're squaring that minus 1. Remember, you need to square the negative 3 first before you multiply by 2. 2 9s 18 minus 1, 17. Number 49. What is the maximum point of this graph? Y equals 4x minus x squared. So the graph here, so the maximum point here. All right, you just need to be able to read coordinates properly. So that point is going to be 2, 4. And the same graph, the values of x at the points where this graph intersects y equals 0. And we talk about this too. Y equals 0 is the same as the x-axis. So what are the values of x at which this graph intersects the x-axis? See the graph here, see the x-axis here. They meet yaso and yaso. All right, so that's when the values of x are 0 and 4. Done. All right, number 51. We're almost done. Well, we're 2/3 of the way. Which of the following best describes the function? This is easy. All you're going to do, put in the x or y values here and see if you work out to the values, see if they equate, put in the x and y values, sorry. All right, so this says y or f of x is equal to x plus 3. Is that true for the different values? So y here 5. Is it, if you say 2 plus 3, which is x plus 3, do you get 5? 5 plus 3, do you get 8? 8 plus 3, do you get 11? And so on. That is correct. Number 52, if the sum of the interior angles of a polygon is 4 right angles, then the polygon is this easy. All right, that's going to be a quadrilateral. And you know, one square, one rectangle, those are perfect examples. All right. Number 53. In this diagram, A, B, and C, they are parallel lines. We can see that. Which of the following describes the relationship between X and Y? The both lines are cut by a line. We call it a transversal. And we want to know how these two are related. If you notice, they form what is nicknamed as a Z angle here, but they're alternate angles, and alternate angles are equal. So X is equal to Y. In this triangle, what's the value of X? We know that all 3 angles will add up to 180. So if we know 2 of them, 30 plus 30, that's 60 degrees. And I want to subtract that from the total 180. All right. And I will find my answer for X, 120 degrees. Next, let's look at the diagram. Observe. Observe that we have one triangle, OPQ. We have another one, OP prime Q prime. It says that this triangle is mapped onto, let me use another ink, is mapped onto this one. What transformation has taken place? Is there reflection? Obviously not. Is there an enlargement? No, sir. Is there translation? No, sir. You can even eliminate here. All right. So, of course, we can see that it is a rotation. And this, all right, let's not talk about kind of rotation, but we notice that it has moved in the same way that this has moved and stuff like that. All right. Rotation. Number 56. We have a pair of triangles. They are similar. What does the similar mean again? That means the ratio of their sides are equal, meaning the same way AC is related to MO, and the same way AB is related to MN, right? We can see that they are similar because the angles, same 52 years are the same 1 year. So 38, 38. All right. Anyways. All right, let's clear here. Now the question says, what is the length of MO? So actually, we shouldn't worry about that. Perfect. So we know the AC and MO is related, same way like how AB and MN related. All right, AB 6 centimeters, MN 3 centimeters. So that's the ratio for AB to MN, 6 to 3. All right, which we can recognize as 2 to 1. But you don't even have to do that here. So you can, but you don't have to. All right, so you can already say that any length over here, so I got W1 over here, so, right? Or the length over here is going to be half the length here. So automatically, you know, so you look for half of 7. A whole heap of ways you can approach this. So I'm just mentioning them. All right. So here we go. Let's continue writing down. AC is going to be 7 to MO. We don't know what MO is. All right. And as I said, you can look here and say 6 divided by 2, give you 3. So you can divide 7 by 2, get the answer we did here. So if you didn't pick that up, then you're going to go ahead and use cross products for the ratios. And when those cross products are equal, 6 times MO is equal to 7 times 3. Divide both sides by 6, MO is equal to 21 over 6, and you're still going to get your 3.5. All right. Number 57, in a triangle not drawn to scale, as we can see, AB is 40 meters, BAC, and you follow with your pencil, is 30 degrees, and we should find BC. All right, we're not being asked to work it out completely, because clearly we can't do trig ratios in our head, right? Well, some of us can. All right, and we're supposed to find BC. So you look at the angle that's there, ask yourself, what is this? That's the hypotenuse. What is BC? That's going to be the opposite. So we're looking for the ratio that has opposite and hypotenuse. That is sine. Sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. Sine, we know theta means the angle, 30 degrees, equals opposite BC over hypotenuse, that's 40. And a BC, we're trying to find, so multiply both sides by 40. Don't need to go no further. BC is equal to 40 times sine 30. All right, 58. It says in the diagram, the translation by which AB is mapped onto A prime B prime is represented by. All right, so we see the translation, we see the slide, we see the glide. Now you just need to tell how far, how many units horizontally and how many units vertically did each point move. So the X value here, 2, and then we end up at 4. That means we moved 2 places to our right. You can even look up here and see it. All right. So already we know that the X value, which is the one that's going to go to the top, is 2. Already we can tell, so this is our answer. But let's continue. All right. And then we look at the Y value, 5, moving from 5 to 6, which means we moved up 1 unit. All right. And you can test it up there. So see there. Number 59, it says we have a ladder 5 meters long, leaning against the wall. 5 meters. And if you've gotten really good at this, you already kind of can pick up the answer. It's how far up the wall does the ladder reach? All right. As we mentioned, why is it that you would be able to pick up already? All right. The foot of the ladder is on horizontal ground. Yes, 3 meters away from the wall. Now from you, see 5 and 3. And the 5 is at the hypotenuse. Remember, I told you already that 5, 4, 3, they're what we call a Pythagorean triplet, where if 5 is the hypotenuse and 3 they're the other side, they're one of the sides, the next side is going to be 4. If 5 is the hypotenuse and you get a question that has 4 at one of the sides, the other side is going to be 3. But anyway, let's work it out if you didn't know about this triplet. All right, so here we go. We know that the hypotenuse squared is equal to one of the other sides squared. So let's put the 3 squared plus wall squared. We call it W squared. Oops, that should be a plus. All right, 25 equals 9 plus W squared. A W we're trying to find, so we subtract 9. 16 is going to be equal to W squared. Square root both sides. W is going to be 4 meters. Let's not even think about -4 because we're talking about length. That's it, A. And finally, the surveyor sets up his instruments 12 meters from the foot of a building, and he records the angle of elevation of the top of the building. All right. What is an estimate of the height of the building? All right. So height of the building, we want to know what's the height here and here. We already know this part of it, which is 1.6. So we know the height is going to be 1.6 plus something else. Rub out A and B from now, based on observation. All right. Now we need to use what we know to find out what is the height for the rest of the building. All right, we know that this part right here is 12 meters, and we want to know over here, so, which means since 40 is right here, we have our adjacent and we want our opposite, so the opposite here. All right, so that's going to be the tan ratio. So you kind of already pick up say answer D, but let's go. All right, because this could have been a paper 2 question. Oops. All right, good. So tan theta equal opposite over adjacent. Tan 40 is equal to opposite, the side we don't know, call it h, height, over adjacent, 12 meters. Multiplying both sides by 12. The height for this part of the building is going to be 12 tan 40, right? Plus with this, so we add it to the 1.6 down here, so that's our final answer. I hope you did well today. All right, and see you next week. God spare life. All right, bye guys.